It's your boy Big Stacks Porzingis, episode 7. Before we even start, I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go over our roster at the beginning of this episode. But I just want to fill y'all in on some things. I've been working ahead. I found that we have a trip to New York that's longer than I thought, so I'm trying to work ahead so when I'm going to New York, I can still drop videos and content that involve this series. I also 2 days ago had oral surgery and got 4 wisdom teeth pulled, so my cheeks are a little puffy, as y'all can see. And my energy and my tone may not be how past videos were, because I still have some pain down here and up here, so bear with me with that. But I've just been so excited with this series, and I've had so much fun. The feedback has been amazing. I appreciate the support. We're getting like 1,000+ views a day within 24 hours of every video that I drop, and that's how I'm dropping the videos. It isn't a day-by-day series. It isn't a every other day series. Whenever a video clocks at 1,000 views, I drop the next one at a proper time. You know, if a video hits 1,000 views at 2 a.m., I'm not going to drop the next episode at 2 a.m. But, you know, I drop it at a reasonable time the next day. And I've been working ahead. Like I said, yesterday I dropped episode 4, and this right here is episode 7. So I'm already, you know, 3+ episodes ahead of y'all. Just for y'all to keep that in mind. Because sometimes I know I'll drop a video and y'all will be saying, do this trade or do that trade. And like now, I'm in episode 7. The trade deadline is passed. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind that I am a little ahead. When we first started this series, I was kind of on the same pace as y'all. But then, you know, I had to start working ahead because of this and now the New York trip. So that's just to fill y'all in. But when we get to this roster, some things that happened, just to recap, we did the trade deadline and we shipped out, you know, Nerlens Noel, and Dennis Schroeder went to the Spurs. We got Lonnie Walker and Patty Mills. Then we traded for Tony Snell by giving up Roberson to the Pistons, and we got like a first-round lottery protected pick back. And then after that, shortly after I did the trade deadline episode, I went in and I cut some guys. I basically did like my own version of what a buyout would be, and I bought out Ryan Anderson, who we got. He was on the last year of a $2 million deal. I didn't really need him coming in, complaining, throwing the chemistry off, or complaining about minutes. And then I also let Eric Moreland go because he just had no role for us. He was also on the last year of his deal, and there was just no need for them. So I let them go, and the reason I let them go was to be able to sign like J.R. Smith. And I wanted to start focusing on the mentorship of this second half of the season, because everybody who's on this roster is now going to finish the season with us. And I know J.R. Smith was a guy that a lot of y'all wanted to see along with Carmelo Anthony. But that's the bad news, is that we weren't able to get Carmelo Anthony. We did get J.R. Smith. I wanted to get Melo. I tried to get Melo. But as y'all can see right here at the expected salary, his expected salary is $10.28 million on this screen. But when I went and tried to sign him, hopefully he's asked for $12.4 million. It's purple right there because we can't afford that. And, you know, when I tried to lower it to what we could afford, it was higher than 2.6. But I signed JR and then it went lower, and he just wasn't interested. He turned it down. So it's nothing that I can do about that. But other than that, I couldn't do that. I tried. I signed JR though, and then I started the mentorship for our younger players for the rest of the season. So I got Teague mentoring Shea. I got JR mentoring Terrence Ferguson. I have Shea mentoring Darius Baisley for his playmaking badges and skills. So I want Darius Baisley to brush up on that playmaking. And then I got Wiggins helping out Hami, and then Steven Adams helping out Justin Patton. And then Tony Snell, I'm trying to give Wiggins that catch and shoot silver badge for that. And then that's pretty much all of it. Okay, I got Lonnie Walker getting some badges from his former teammate. Not former teammate, excuse me, but his teammate that he had in San Antonio. So there's a little bond there. And I'm giving him the catch and shoot, corner specialist, and then quick draw. So, you know, I'm just taking and working what we have. We don't really have a lot when it comes to mentorship. We don't have the CP3s and whatnot anymore. But I think Jeff Teague, J.R. Smith, Steven Adams, even our younger guys kind of mentoring each other, I think that will work out and help us in the long run, even if it's in the slightest. You know, we just want to get better. And that's another thing I wanted to speak about when it came to this series, is that I need for a lot of y'all to remember that this series is just about getting better. It's a developmental year. I mean, or the first part of the series, the first season. This isn't, we don't really care about, you know, wins and losses. It's just trying to develop all of this young talent that we have, and to try to figure out exactly who and what our core is. Because I've seen a lot of comments complaining about Terrence Ferguson and his three-point attempts and whatnot. But just to silence the critics or the people that had something to say, I just wanted to show y'all this, because I did scroll past this. So this is a quick update for around the league. Most valuable player right now, Giannis is number 1. LeBron is in the mix, averaging 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists in the 17th year. We got Harden and Westbrook both doing their thing for the Rockets. And then last but not least, Chris Paul is in the mix. So, you know, Chris Paul at age 34 was with the Thunder. It looked like there was no hope. We traded him to Minnesota and was able to get Andrew Wiggins, and he turned out to have a MVP caliber year. And the Timberwolves are out over there in the West doing their thing, or up there in the West doing their thing. As far as Rookie of the Year, Ja Morant is leading it, I guess. You got Zion, and then Jarrett Culver, who's also a part of that Minnesota Timberwolves team. DeAndre Hunter, and then Rui Hachimura is doing his thing with 15 points and 5 rebounds. Zion is a 20-point scorer out of the gate. That's cool. Ja Morant is 19 and 7. That's actually sexy. I know a lot of y'all was saying that they was gonna have a lot of these rookies OC, but you know, I could kind of see some of this. Ja Morant is gonna go into the Grizzlies in real life, really being the guy. He's gonna handle the ball for 90% of the possessions. He's gonna pass the ball, obviously, as Jaren Jackson and other young talented people. You know, 19. I could see Ja Morant in the 17, between 16 and 19 point range. 7 assists seems reasonable. And then Zion, I mean, the way he's been playing in the preseason, he might be a 20 and 8 guy. He just might. Jarrett Culver, this might be a stretch. Maybe Jarrett Culver don't average 17, 6, and then 3. But I mean, if he did, I don't think any of us would be like, oh my gosh, that was, you know, it'd be like, okay, that's cool. And then DeAndre Hunter, 13-5, I could see that. The 3.5 to 4 assists is what I don't really see. And then Rui Hachimura over there in Washington, I can see 15 and 5. So I mean, all of that is pretty reasonable to me so far. Serge Ibaka is looking like the lead man for 6th Man of the Year. Larry Nance is having a nice little, you know, campaign. Mason Plumlee as well. All of these guys are centers. All of them. There's no Lou Williams in the mix. It's all centers. Gorgie Dang also a part of the Timberwolves. So Timberwolves has had a player in every category for an award so far. Defensive Player of the Year is the first category where they don't have. Giannis is leading that. Rudy, LeBron. So LeBron's having just a magical career year in year 17. Draymond and Drummond also in that mix. And then most improved, Terrence Ferguson is right here. You know, that's what I wanted to show y'all. Like, a lot of people complaining about Terrence Ferguson and what he's been doing and how he's shooting. But, I mean, he's having a most improved player campaign. Shea is too. Shea and Terrence Ferguson. They're actually, out of all of these names I see, they're having the best year. Shea is having the top year. I don't know if this is going in order of who's going to win it, or if this is just randomized in any specific way. But I mean, when you look at the numbers, PPG he leads, rebounds, he leads in assists, points, almost in steals. But I mean, maybe it's because he's his sophomore year too, though, so it was expected. But yeah, then second is Terrence Ferguson. He has the highest jumping point per game. He has about the least roundest game. He's not contributing really much with the rebounding and assists. He's only 2 and 2. Everybody else is like 4-3, 4-3. So I see that. But yeah, Terrence Ferguson is in the mix for most improved. You know, a lot of people saying they want to see him slash more. And that's the part of his game that I think is kind of, I don't want to say solidified because he's still young, 21. But that's his best part of his game. That's what got him in the NBA. His athleticism, being able to get to the hole and finish, and being athletic and slashing. That's fine. I want him to be a shooter. That's what we want to see his growth in. And he's saying kind things about us. He says he's happy with his involvement. And that's the type of things I want to see. He's made a 6 and 7 point jump, basically. His 3-point percentage is down because he's shooting more. But, you know, that's fine. I'll take it. He's playing how many more minutes? He is playing about 3 more minutes. And he's scoring almost 7 more points. So I'll take that. We just want to improve on his shooting. And same thing with all of our younger guys. We want to improve on specific things during the season. And then when we get to the off season, because of their potential, it's going to give them a progression. There's always, when you have a my league or a series, a my GM or a season, during the offseason you have a progression tab, and that just evolves or improves their entire game depending on what their potential is. So when I have the chance to improve them during the season, I want to focus on specific areas that they may not be as good in, or they may kind of be capped off, and I want to keep improving Terrence Ferguson's three-point shot, because he's going to be a guy, when I look at this young core, that we're going to need to give us a shooting. You know what I mean? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you know, he can shoot it at a decent amount, probably a little bit above average at 84, but he's going to be the type of point guard for us where he's going to have to be like a Swiss Army knife. We're going to be asking him to guard the best players on the perimeter, get our team involved, run the show, and then also do a little bit of scoring. And he's kind of going to be breaking down the defenses to create shots for others, let alone just spotting up. I mean, he will have times where he is spotting up, but a lot of the spot-up shots are going to come to Terrence Ferguson. You know, Wiggins is going to be getting his isolation chances. Bazley is going to be pushing the ball on a break. Same thing with Shai. He's going to be our guy for the most part that we need spotting up and taking those threes. And when you look at our lineup, or our future lineup, or our young core of players, we don't really have that much shooting. Wiggins is not, you know, a prototypical shooter. You wouldn't call him a shooter. He can occasionally make them. Darius Bazley isn't necessarily a stretch four. He can occasionally make them. And Justin Patton isn't, you know, spacing the floor out from the perimeter at all. Only time he's going past the free throw line is to set a screen. And then I already spoke about Shai. Lonnie Walker, speaking on him, he had a solid game. You know, I've played a couple of games. I'm not sure if they'll be in the episodes before this one. I don't know if I'm going to actually put him in there. So, but maybe I will. Like I said, I'm not sure. But I played this game right here against the Bulls. And, dog, Darius Bazley is hooping. Whenever I user play with this team, Darius Bazley and Justin Patton hoops. They hoop out of their mind. 40, 13, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. But, I mean, 18 of 22 from the field. And I'm not forcing anything. I'm not going into the game saying I want him to be having 40 points, because I really didn't expect that. I expected that from, like, Wiggins, and I expected Shai to hoop. And he did hoop. 19, 5, and 5 with 1 turnover. Terrence Ferguson had 17. So these dudes hooped. These dudes really hooped. And with me, when I control them user-wise, Terrence Ferguson isn't shooting 10 threes. Lonnie Walker was cool. Struggled at first. You know, I was a little disappointed. But at the end, he kind of got it together. But yeah, Bazley is a hooper, man. I'm trying to find the other game where I hooped with him. It was a user game. Who did we play against? I cannot remember who we played against. Was it the Spurs? Yes, it was this game right here. This was fresh after the trade deadline. You know, I did the trades. We got Lonnie Walker. I went out and signed J.R. Smith. Then I was like, let me play this first game just to see what our new team is like, because this is going to be the team for the rest of the year. Steven Adams and Andrew Wiggins was hurt, so we were short on bodies, and I didn't realize until after I started the game that we didn't really have anybody. So I only had Justin Patton as my only center available to play that night. So he was tired and exhausted. I had him playing 32 minutes. Darius Bazley played 34 minutes and even logged 2 minutes at center. And he turned out to have 42 points, 23 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 5 blocks, 2 turnovers, 20 of 30 from the field. Justin Patton, 30 points, 20 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. They came out and hooped. Again, this is not forced. This is my first time really playing with them as starters. So again, I didn't go into this game thinking, hey, I'm going to just take over with Bazley. I'm going to take over with Patton. We actually started this game off real slow, and I thought the Spurs was about to kick our ass because they came out shooting the ball really well. Then we locked up in that second half and really got down to business. But yeah, these dudes came in and hooped, and Darius Bazley really at some point in this game, maybe the second to third quarter, put us on his back and really led us to get this win, because like I said, I thought it was over. And this is the game where Lonnie Walker struggled, where I was kind of like, I don't know if this dude's going to be back with this team next year. 1 for 8, a lot of them were layups, open jump shots, didn't really do shit. So Keita Bates-Diop 2, 1 of 11, all of these were layups. He played power forward this game because like I said, we didn't have a lot of size or depth. So, you know, when Patton went to the bench, Bazley became the center, and Bates-Diop and Tony Snell played a lot of power forward. So don't think, look, 0-10 from threes. These are layups. He missed all of them layups, and he was in front of people, but he just doesn't have good finishing, and that was disappointing and a bit of a turnoff for me. One last thing I want to go over for this episode. This episode so far has really been just a recap because we kind of halfway in the season. We're a little bit past halfway. Just got done with the All-Star break or whatever. And, you know, the next couple episodes will probably be just simming and starting to get into the off season and figuring out what we want to do there. But I did implement a draft class. I did implement the draft class. I'll just do the draft board or prospect scouting so y'all can see all of the big board. We'll do the big boards. Ignore this guy right here. He was a generated player that the guy who made this draft class, he left in because he didn't use every player. I guess he only probably used about 60 to 65 players to put in the draft because only 60 players get selected. Or maybe it was like 70 or whatever. But one of the guys he didn't use because there's a lot of leftover generated players. His potential was like at a 99. So they automatically put him as a #1 prospect. I went in and edited myself and brought it down so he won't, you know, he won't be there. But whatever, they just still have him #1. But y'all can see LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, Cole Anthony, Isaiah Stewart, all of the real guys are here. I went in myself and adjusted the ratings and adjusted potentials and different things like that to make it more realistic, because the dude who created this draft class did a real good job on faces and their body types and all of that, but he didn't do a good job with the ratings. A lot of these guys were overrated. A lot of them, he had about 15 to 20 guys that were like 76 or higher. There's never been a time where 2K has brought in the rookie class and there's been that many players 77 or higher. Just like this year, there's Zion is 81, Ja Morant is 79, RJ is a 78, and Hunter is a 77. Darius Garland may be a 77 or a 76, but again, there's only like typically 4 or 5 rookies in each class at the beginning of a new 2K that's 77 or higher. Other than that, it gets to 75, 76, 74s, and that's how I kind of did it. As far as what we're eyeing, I have no idea what I'm eyeing right now because we have so much with our young core. We still have Wiggins on the wing. We got Shea as a point guard. I look at Patton as a guy that can probably be a starting center in the future. Darius Bazley is a wing. Terrence Ferguson is a wing. We have Lonnie Walker now. So I'm not saying we don't need any of these guys. We definitely will. We need somebody that could possibly be like the face of the franchise. And playing those games that I played off camera, it was times when I played and Darius Bazley reminded me of like what a Giannis could be. You know what I mean? Like a baby Giannis. He was just getting the rebound, taking it coast to coast, passing, dunking on people. He shot 18 to 22 with no 3-point attempts. Blocking shots, had 5 blocks, rebounding the ball. So I was looking like, man, should I build this team around him and just try to bank that his potential will grow with me playing with him? But some names that I do like Denny. In real life, I like Denny. I like his game. Reminds me of like a more athletic Gallinari. Like a Nico Mannion. I don't know if I would take him because we have Shea, but then again, Shea can play shooting guard. That's the beautiful thing about Shea. So I can look at a guard like Nico. I can look at a guard like Theo. I can look at a guard like LaMelo, or you know, Killian Hayes. I'm sorry, I've seen these two, and I guess I tried, but Killian Hayes. As far as Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, I like them, but I prefer to have guys that have skill and IQ over athletic ability. You know, I think guys like this, you know, they're so good, especially in high school, just because they're physically more gifted than anybody else. So they're able to dunk on guys and they're able to just muscle, you know, or be more stronger and faster than guys. But when you get to the NBA level, it turns to skill, because everybody in the NBA is athletically gifted. Everybody is strong. Actually, when you enter the NBA as a rookie, a lot of them are at the bottom of the totem pole as far as strength, athletic ability, and speed. And so then it becomes about skill and IQ and different things like that. So I prefer to have guys like skill and IQ rather than guys that are dependent on athletic ability, because, you know, Cole Anthony really not going to be coming in the NBA just putting people on posters and catching bodies like he was in high school. There's Rudy Gobert and Steven Adams and stuff like that in the league that's now going to put you on your ass. So, guys that I do like just as far as this series go, and not even just about like real life stuff, Josh Green is the guy that I think can come in and play well next to Shea, just because he can play off the ball, on the ball. They kind of can both do their own thing. I like Scotty Lewis. I like Killian Hayes. Abaji can shoot the three real well. There's a lot of different people on here. Samuel Williamson can shoot the ball. I don't really have anybody that I'm just like, that's my guy. Obviously, if I get a top 3 pick, any one of these 3 guys are going to be good. LaMelo, James, and Anthony Edwards. I'll take any of them, obviously. But like, if we got the 5th pick, I wouldn't know what we would do. I don't know if Isaiah Stewart would be the answer. Jaden McDaniels, Precious, Chua. You know, I don't know what we would do. So I'm kind of excited about that because I usually know like, oh, I want that guy. I'm trying to get that guy. But I don't know yet. So for the rest of this episode, we are at February 26th. I'm going to sim to the end of March. See how our guys are doing. See how we doing as far as the win and losses go. Teague is fully healthy. I will adjust the menu and see if I have to give him any minutes. Who do I want to take out of the... I like Teague, so I'm trying to give him some... We'll take Nader out of the thing. Now, this is the hard part. Who do I take minutes from to give him minutes? I don't really know. JR has 13. Lonnie Walker has 25. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to just let him... I'll take... No, I'm going to give... We'll just give him... Yeah, a lot of these older guys, like a lot of these veterans, like Patty and Tony Snell, Jeff Teague, they're going to be real pissed. So I'm glad that this is their last season with us because they're not going to want to be here, just honestly speaking. And I'm fine with that. Justin Patton will leave it is. We're not necessarily tanking. Would you like to see? Yeah, let's see. Is there anybody whose contract extension I could really even do anything with? Yeah, so it's nobody I need to even be trying to extend. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say we're trying to tank. Add a new goal. Scout best first rounders. Confirm. Let's target Anthony Edwards, Melo, Precious, Denny. Let's take away somebody else then. So the RJ. Let's look at Josh Green. Josh Green and Scotty Lewis. I want to see what they're gonna be about. Yes, and then we done. But yeah, this is what the rest of the series is gonna really be. Episode 7, nice little recap of what had happened the past couple of episodes and what I did off camera after the trade deadline. Wiggins is out. Wiggins is kind of getting hurt a little bit too much for my liking. And then yeah, the next episode, episode 8, will probably be heading into the off season. And starting to think about what we're going to do as far as the draft. And then we'll be in free agency looking at a whole new team. And then that type of injury pissed me off because I'm going to have to go back and fix it in like a day. It said he was day to day, so I'm going to have to go right back in there, adjust it manually. But yeah, like I said, it's been a good year for us as far as developing these guys. That's been my main focus. I'm looking at this as a developmental year. To be honest, just developing these guys is my main focus. Trying to get the best of these dudes, and hopefully we can turn these dudes into some superstars and really really get OKC back on the map. But I'm gonna finish this sim, keep this going. Probably about to shoot next episode 8 right now, just because I'm trying to get these videos out ahead. So when you see me wearing the same thing, know it's because I'm shooting multiple videos in one setting. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Ideas, feedback, leave it in the comments. Like it, subscribe if you're new. Big Stacks out.